Today is the final trading day of the week. It is Wednesday, November 21st. Tomorrow we're going to be stuffing our faces with turkeys and stuffing, but today we're stuffing our faces with profits. Right? Oh, good one, Deck. AVIL, what an awesome move. Let's go over this. Let's go over our trades. Let's go over the predictability in this market today. Let's talk about it. Right now, AVIL is trying to come up to $5. We already stated multiple times, $5 is the third strongest resistance line. It's going to have some trouble around $5. If it could break $5, look for around $5.25. AVIL is the #1 top gainer. It's up 71% at this time. It's actually lower than 2 million float at below 1 million in float. And AVIL was my play this morning. Where did I get in on AVIL? I got in on AVIL, as we know, at the price of $341. $341. The market did, the stock didn't even open until $380. Yep, I got in all the way down here at $341. How did I know? How did I know that AVIL was going to go on a spike? How did I know AVIL was going to be one of the best contenders today? How did I know that this stock was going to be able to go on a very nice rip? Now, am I able to predict that it's able to run all the way up to $5? No, if I knew it was going to run all the way up to $5, I would have held that long. I was expecting volume to come in. I was expecting a nice spike to happen. I was expecting a nice climb. Now, a rip all the way from where we opened at around $385, that's an awesome move. That's a great move. I locked in my profits, a lot earlier, of course. But I'm still able to grow my account. I was able to make a profit today, as you guys know, of $288. That brings my small account challenge now to $4,756. Again, I started with a $3,500 account, $3,590, I believe. So I am up over $1,000. I'm up just under $1,200 at this time on my small account challenge, and just being slow and steady. Again, I started my first trade on my small account challenge was November 5th. It's now the 21st. So, I'm kind of right on track on where I want to be. The first month or two is somewhere around like $1,500 and like maybe around $3,000. And then we start, looking for some bigger profits. Then we start looking for some bigger rips. But a lot of it is about discipline. A lot of it's about patience. We don't need to trade every day. I don't need to make $500 every single day. I want to keep my losses small. I want to let my big gains run. And I want to be able to lock in that big time profits when I have them, right? So it's all about staying consistent as a trader. So let's talk about AVIL. Why did I play AVIL? Why did I get in on AVIL at $340? And now it's all the way up to $525. There are other options today. There's a whole list. There's thousands of stocks. Why did I pick AVIL? Let's break it down. First things first, you got to know about yesterday. ANY. ANY is a 1 million in float stock that went from $4 and spiked all the way up towards around $7. Okay? So we saw a very nice spike. ANY was probably one of the best spikes we've seen in like the last 2 weeks. So we have a nice $3 spike. This is one of the best spikes we've seen in about the last 2 weeks. And guess what? It gets traders excited. Traders are saying, oh boy, I can't believe we just went on a $3 spike. The traders that nailed ANY, they're saying, I just banked. I'm up huge. That was fun. Let's do that again. The people who missed out on ANY said what? I can't believe I missed out on the only spike in the last week and a half. I can't believe we missed out on, this $3 rip. Oh, I could have made so much money. I'm here every day. I can't believe I didn't pull the trigger. Now, what's their mindset? Oh, next one I see, I'm pulling the trigger. People who banked, they're fired up. They're ready to trade more. People who missed out, they're eager to trade. They're getting greedy. They want to make money, right? Because they missed out on that play. So what's going on? What's happening now? So now we have basically the mindset of the penny stock market changing. Before, people were cautious. Before, people were locking in profits. Before, people were like, we haven't seen any spikes. I don't want to do this, right? Now we have people doing what? Oh, let's buy some more. That was fun. Oh, now we have people saying, oh, I can't believe I missed the last breakout. I want to buy on the next rip so I make that money. Penny stocks are weird. They're all emotional. They are. We're always supposed to avoid emotions in penny stocks. That's how you're going to be successful. But you want to understand what emotion is going on in the market. As a personal trader, as an individual, you want to avoid emotions. But you want to understand how emotions are affecting other traders. Because other traders are the ones that are going to push stocks. Those are the people who are going to buy and sell plays, which is going to make penny stocks go up and down. We always say market conditions in the penny stock world a lot of times are dependent on what? are dependent on us, the people, right? It's not like, if a ton of people, I mean, if you think about it, even like, Apple and stuff, if everyone buys Apple, Apple goes up. But if, everyone sells Apple, Apple goes down. But a lot of times it's based more on like the financial report on Apple. Penny stocks are different. They're a lot smaller. Sometimes when people get excited, thousands and hundreds of, or excuse me, like thousands and millions of people get excited. Guess what happens? We determine the penny stock market conditions. And if everyone's mindset is, wow, I can't believe I missed the big rip yesterday, I can't wait for today's rip. Or if everyone's mindset is, wow, I nailed the big rip yesterday, I can't wait to trade again. Regardless what it is, you're still excited to trade. So what did that carry over into today? What did that momentum from A and Y that led to INPX going on a $4 to $7 rip? That led to SPI going from a $2 up to $3.25 rip. That led to MBOT going from a 230 up to 370 rip. People are saying, I just want to see spikes. People are saying, I can't wait for the next big rip. That's everyone's mindset right now. So why did I pick AVIL? Out of all the thousands of plays, why did I pick AVIL? Because ANY, I felt like it already happened, right? ANY already did its rip. ANY already did its climb. I look back in pre-market on ANY, and what did we see? We usually look for a third touch breakout, right? We've gone over this many, many times. We look for a third touch breakout. We look for a third touch rip. We look for a third touch spike. And let me see what we have here. I'm trying to bring up these channel patterns. And when we have these, channel patterns, when we get these breakouts, guys, like here they are. What do we look for? We have one touch, two touch, breakout, right? We can look at, let me see it, and a couple others right here. Here you go, like OPGN. We get our one touch, we get our two touch, we get our breakout, right? We get our third touch. We actually did a boot camp lesson on this the other day, right? We always look for the third touch breakout. I got PTIE. We got our one touch, we got our two touch, we got our breakout, right? We're always looking for that third touch breakout. So what did we see on A and Y? A and Y came with a one touch, two touch. This is where it needs to break out. And we just had a sell off and everyone got off this play. Okay. So, you were looking, you saw that, third touch wasn't going to happen. But that third touch, wasn't until about 7 o'clock. You hopped in, or excuse me, that wasn't until $7, which is all the way out around 9:10. You hopped in on, AVIL at all the way at around like 8:40 this morning, right? And that's when ANY was all the way down towards around $6. So why did you hop in on AVIL if you knew that ANY, or you didn't know yet that ANY wasn't going to be able to break? Well, the reason I hopped in on AVIL was because I saw ANY just sitting right around $6. And then I saw it even arching on down. Like I saw it like falling on down like this. And I was even expecting, again, I'll be honest, I was hoping for ANY to kind of dump on off. Because if ANY dumped on off, that would have basically got rid of everyone on ANY. And if all the traders on ANY said, oh, I'm over ANY, let's look for something else, that means a lot of them can run over to AVIL. So I saw it seeing this one start dumping on off a little bit, and that's when I went and bought in on AVIL. I saw this red candle, and usually when we see an arch, that's where we start seeing the stock dump as people get scared and they get out of it. So I said to myself, hey, if everyone gets out of ANY, out of 100 people, there's probably 65 people over on, ANY. So if 65 people are in on, can kind of carry out to go out of whatever play they want now, guess what? Maybe they'll go to AVIL. And I always say, like, hypothetically, if there's 100 people in the stock market. So I'm saying the majority of people. So ANY, if that dumps off, a lot of people are going to go to AVIL. So I saw this red candle right here, and that's when I went over and bought AVIL this morning because I said to myself, hey, a lot of people may get scared. So notice, right when AVIL starts moving on up in pre-market, right around this 840 mark, that was right after ANY started having a little bit of this like little scare right here, which could have, at 835, where people could have been like, all right, I don't know if I trust this anymore. I may want to go to a different play. So AVIL, this is when I start hopping on this play, starts going on a nice rip, starts moving on up. And then again, I sold at what price? 367. Oh, are you kidding me, Dek? You could have banked huge. I know I could have. But at the same time, you got to be happy with profit. But hey, that doesn't really explain why I bought in on AVIL. Okay, how did you find AVIL? Well, AVIL, a couple different reasons. First things first, AVIL had news this morning, right? We had announces an entry into a purchase stock agreement. We like the word agreement. Two companies working together. We have stock purchase, which is absolutely great. And what do we have here? We have that the company is agreed to issue 354,000 ordinary shares, which is equivalent to $1 million at the price of $3.81. So I'm just saying to myself, if there is a company purchasing, the company has agreed to purchase 354,000 shares at the price of 381. If I'm getting in at 340, I'm getting in at a bargain. If I'm getting in at 340 and there's someone that's going to be purchasing, 300,000 shares at 381, hey, I'm in at a great price. So AVIL, I'm saying, all right, that's a good, nice press release right there. On top of that, I look over on AVIL on the float. I already see that's 2 million in float. I always like to confirm on Yahoo Finance, and I see AVIL is now a 768,000 in float stock, and I'm saying, okay, well now we have under 1 million in float. We have a stock that's starting to get a little attention as ANY is starting to fall. ANY went on a massive rip yesterday. The mindset is everyone's going to start buying today because everyone's fired up from yesterday. AVIL has a good press release, a low float. It's getting volume. ANY is coming on down. People are probably going to mob shift and come over here. And that's exactly what happened. And now AVIL going bananas. Now AVIL taking on off. And AVIL being a great play. So AVIL again, I got in on this play 1,100, or excuse me, I got in on this play 1,900 shares at 8:35. I got in at 8:35 and I got out at 8:50 in the morning. Obviously, if I kept holding, I'd be up, over $2,000 at this time, right? I'd be up over $2,000 at this time. But I lock in my gains. I would rather lock in my $288 rather than say I was up $288 and then lost it all, right? So that's why I lock it in. But what else did we see from ANY spiking today? We saw IMPX taking on off. And we saw IMPX go on a great rip, and we saw IMPX go on a great spike. But sometimes people get blinded. People get blinded by the fact of, oh my gosh, there's so much money in my account. I just want to keep making more, right? And you get blinded by that. And what do I mean? IMPX went on a great spike. Momentum came in. Why did IMPX go on a great spike? It's 1 million in float. People are just buying anything low float now. Guess what happened? We know what the strongest resistance and support lines are going to be 13 EMA, 50-day moving average, and 200-day moving average. So with that being said, we come up to it, guess what happens? Everyone's going to lock in their profits, and it comes back on down. But people get blinded by that, and they don't look at it right here, and they say, oh, just keep on going. IMPX $4.50, $5, $5.50, $6, $6.50, $7. Guys, we're going up to 100, right? And that's not what happens. You hit your resistance, people are going to sell it off. And that's why it came on down. And you guys look at SPI. SPI, this stock. Actually, I'm going to come back to SPI in a second. And I'm going to look at MBOT. And I look at MBOT. And MBOT's just a low float play as well. And MBOT starts ripping and running. And it comes up to the 13 EMA. But so many traders saying, oh, I'm in at 245, oh, 260, $3, 325, 350. And they want to keep buying and buying. But the majority of people are going to sell where? At the moving averages. 13 EMA, just like it fell every time when it hit a million times here and a million times here, it falls right here. And now what did SPI rip? SPI is just a low float little pump and dump type of play. So that stock's just a little, low float little pump and dump type play. So SPI, this stock was just a low float little pump and dump just because everything else was moving. But notice how one play can change the whole entire game, right? Notice how one play can change the whole entire mindset of these traders. It gets very wild. It's very awesome. And it's awesome to see. It's great to see traders be able to lock in profits just from the psychological aspect. Do you need to know chart patterns? Yes. Do you need to know technical analysis? Yes. Do you need to know, moving averages and level 2 and different setups and different patterns and everything along those lines? Yes. But what's extremely important as well? The psychology behind it. Understanding market conditions and how us as traders can profit, and we can know to buy, and we can know to buy more when traders are more in state. And that's what I try to think about every single day when I sit down in my chair. Not what am I going to buy today? What is everyone else going to buy today? Doesn't matter what I want to buy. Doesn't matter what I want to get into. I could love stock ABC with all my heart. But if no one else wants to buy ABC, guess what? It's just going to be me over there. And I want to buy where everyone else is because that has more volume. And more volume equals more activity, and more activity equals more profit. So awesome work so far on AVIL. Could not be more proud for everyone locking in those big time gains right before we head over to Thanksgiving. You guys already know, we got a nice 3-day weekend, but all the big time games from AVIL, from ANY, 217, 350, 720, and again, even some other low float plays, 298, 272, 660, 295. Awesome job, guys. Could not be more happy, more excited for you. But as always, I just want to show credibility. As always, I want you guys to get an education. And on top of that, that's going to give you guys confidence in your trading. So up just about $1,200 on the small account, $288 profit today. A lot of profits over in Profit Chat. AVIL, awesome job. ANY, awesome job. INPX, SPI, MBOT. You just got to know that these stocks are going to, have a little bit of sympathy towards them. When they come up to resistance, people are going to dump them off. But let's see how high AVIL can go. And this thing has been an absolute beast today. Let's enjoy our Thanksgiving coming on up and enjoy those profits.